I've just watched The Substance, and we go into that in a moment or two. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the plot first. But before I do that, if you're wondering where I am, I'm actually in the beautiful Everyman Cinema. There are loads of them across the country, and they're all as gorgeous as this one. But let's get into The Substance. What is it? Why do you need it? What will happen when you use it? All those answers are right here. Written and directed by Coralie Forget, who brought us 2017's Revenge. The Substance stars Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid, and won Best Screenplay at the Cannes Film Festival. Elizabeth Sparkle is an aerobics instructor who feels like time is running out. 50 years old and fired from her job. She needs a boost. Enter The Substance, a black market drug that allows you to generate a younger, more beautiful, more perfect version of yourself. Only catch is, you need to share time with your other you. Stick to those simple rules and all will be fine. Holy shit. To say this is anything but insane is an understatement. What did I think?
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. One single injection unlocks your DNA, starting a new cellular division that will release another version of yourself. This is The Substance.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just experienced The Substance. I'm torn between whether this is Film of the Year or whether this is What the Fuck of the Year. I haven't seen anything as completely batshit crazy in the cinema this year as this one. Wow, is all I can say. The Substance. We've got to unpack this one, folks, because The Substance is... Okay, I feel like I've been attacked. The senses, visual, hearing, I just feel like, emotionally, I feel like I've been attacked. I know what I've just seen, and my goodness me. I want to swear, I want to shout and swear about it, but I'm not going to, because I think it's more effective to just say things like, golly gosh, goodness gracious, flipping heck, heavens above, goodness me, by heck. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the fact that that movie, The Substance, it is just like being hit in the face. I think that's what it's like. I've got to be honest. I'm in shock. I think I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I mean, I've seen loads of films this week, but I mean, oh my goodness me. I went to see Speak No Evil last night, and I did love it. I mean, Speak No Evil was fantastic, and it was, it was a little bit crackers, but this, it's on another level of what the hell is this? I got all the messages. I got them all. It's going to take me ages to basically peel away what this means, and it's right there. It's right there. It solidifies exactly how I feel about films. I went to see Star Wars Rogue One the other night in a great screen, in a great cinema, right here in this place where I am. And my God, it was amazing. But you go in, it starts, the story is told, there's a middle bit, and then there's an end bit, and then the things happen, and then the credits come up, and you go home. That's it. Starts, middle, end, go home. This does the same thing, has a start, has a middle, and has an end, but at no point during Rogue One did anybody's back open up and another being come from there and go into the world. I've got to, I mean, that didn't happen in Rogue One, but it did happen in The Substance. There are parts in this that I did squirm, and I'm alright with gore, with nastiness in cinema. I'm okay with it. I don't like it when it's got no meaning or no reason or no rhyme in that. But when it's gratuitous, horrific violence with a purpose, I'm right there. Body horror. What's body horror? Tell me what body horror is. Body horror is crazy, icky things happening to people, obviously would not really happen to somebody in the real world. If that did happen to somebody in the real world, then I think I want to go to the airport, get on a plane and fly to where there are no people and like sail off into some weird island somewhere where I just eat coconuts for the rest of my days. It's all set on a backdrop of inadequacy, right? The media makes us all feel like we are not worthy. The people that it puts in front of us on television, on movies, all of the media that we get served these days, particularly on advertisements, stuff like that. We get to see these glamorous, beautiful, perfect people, men, women, animals, whatever the fuck it is. We get to see that all the time. We have to see it. We don't even get to see it. That's what is force fed into our eyes and into our mouths and into our ears all of the time. Perfection, perfection, perfection. And this is about hitting that moment when, as a young person that gets older and as an older person that gets even older and reaches a certain point where society says, I'm afraid, whatever it is that you do, no matter how good it is, I'm sorry, it's too late. You're no good anymore. We don't want you anymore. We don't need you anymore. The main message of this film is essentially about that. Okay, folks, right, we're off. The substance then. Let's get out of here first. Let's go. We are on the move. I don't know how to get out of this car park because I don't come here very often. We'll probably just drive around till we find the exit, maybe. Yeah, so, yep. There's the arrows on the floor. The way out's over there. Is it? I don't know. Anyway, all right then. We're just going round in circles now. Okay. People are looking at me talking to myself in my car. It's it, but the arrows are okay. Oh my god, it's pointing in the other direction again. I'm going round in circles again. There we go. I think this is it. There you go. But yeah, we're out of here. It's time. Yes, we're out of here. Okay, there is somebody behind us as well, which is unexpected. It's a movie release, and Mubi has got an amazing catalogue of films. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of them. It's got exactly what I wanted from it. It's not subtle at all, in any way. Nothing about this is subtle, and that's great. I was watching this and I was thinking to myself, is this a masterpiece? Is that what I'm seeing? Am I seeing a masterpiece? I'm kind of on the side of, yeah, but this ain't no mainstream thing. It's got an element of David Cronenberg, and it's also got a tiny element of The Shining. And I noticed that immediately, as soon as it starts, as soon as it begins. It's got that gorgeous long, and it's not a spoiler at all, but it's got a gorgeous long corridor shot. There's also a bathroom that features in it as well. Well, there's a couple of bathrooms that feature in it, and they feature in it in rather disturbing ways, I must say. One of them in particular pretty much looks like the bathroom in The Shining, where Grady's bathroom. Let's call it Grady's bathroom. It's shot in CinemaScope. The cinematography in this, I mean, it's beautiful. The colours, it's got that sort of retro 70s vibe as well, which I also thought was fantastic. The one thing that I thought made this into masterpiece level is essentially the fact that it gives no fucks. It gives zero fucks. The message is right there. And the message is, if we get the opportunity to live beyond our shelf life, or the shelf life that they say we have, then what are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? Where can we go? What can we do? That's where the substance comes in. The substance can sort that out. There are some rules for the substance. You can't just take the substance and everything's honky-dory. There are some rules to the usage of the substance. What are the rules? I think it's fine to mention the rules. The rules are mentioned in all of the blabber that goes with this film. You have 7 days as yourself, and you also have another 7 days as your other self. and your other self is actually yourself. You're the same. You come from the same place, and we see that birth, as it were, in full fucking detail. And it's like, whoa, woza. Our other self, she gets born, and she's born, and she appears. She doesn't have any of the flaws, and she doesn't have the age problems. She doesn't have any of that stuff, any of that hellish shit that we all go through throughout our lives to reach the age of 50 years old. She doesn't have any of that. She's born out of Elizabeth. That's where she comes from. And she's called Sue. The horror elements come along, and the horror elements are basically the most shocking things I've seen for quite a while, to be fair. You see people born from people. You see bits of people start to fall off. A weird but amazing, like, aging process gone insane. It's so creatively disgusting that it's just makes it like, wow, you know? I'm not gonna give any spoilers away, but a lot of us might have had that dream, that nightmare dream where we have problems with our teeth, right? Well, I tell you what, I've never seen a similar thing in a film before. Comments, please, tell me, yeah, you need to see this. If you let me know, because I want to see how it's done in other films, because when it's done in this, it's like, oh. Should you go and see The Substance? It's not for the faint of heart. Absolutely no way. If you don't know what a body horror film is, and you want to experience a body horror film, go and see this. Because it's got it in droves, and it is uncompromising. It won't let you go at all. It won't let you go, and it will spiral out of control, and it will be glorious when it does. But it will be icky to say the least. If you're an experienced body horror lover, or if you're an experienced horror lover, then you gotta go and see this, because you're gonna love it, because it's got it all. It's got it all. And if you are squeamish, if you can't stand squeamish things, do not see this, because you will never sleep again. I guarantee it. This has been The Substance, and this has been probably, up to this point, my film of the year so far. The Substance is available everywhere, and when it's not in the cinemas anymore, it's going to be on Mubi. And I tell you what, if you haven't got a Mubi subscription, you can get the 7 days free thing. And if you're curious, sign up if you haven't already. Get the 7 days free and watch The Substance when it's available. There's loads of other stuff to watch on Mubi as well. Plenty of other stuff to binge on, and that's fine. But you got to see The Substance if you're even a tiny bit curious. Dennis Quaid, who plays the kind of, I guess you can call him producer or talent scout, producer-y kind of person. And I mean, Slimeball is an understatement. And I think that it's quite an interesting character that he plays, because he's horrible. The way that he's filmed is just like, there's a scene which contains having dinner at a restaurant, essentially, and Demi Moore is there and Dennis Quaid is there. Most of the times we see Dennis Quaid, it's basically in close-up of him eating, of his mouth and the food, and the way he's breaking the prawns apart, and the way that he's chewing, and the sounds of him chewing are emphasized so much. They're like turned up to 11, the sounds of him eating, and it's just it's so like stomach-churningly horrible to hear those yucky sounds of him chewing, and to look at him chewing, and the bits of food to go everywhere, and him ripping the heads off the prawns, and all of that kind of thing. And it's just, the performance is amazing. He nails exactly what his character is supposed to be doing. He nails it perfectly. And I want to talk about Margaret Qualley's performance. So Margaret Qualley, and forgive my pronunciation, I don't know if that's, I have no idea if that's correct or not, but Margaret Qualley's performance is spectacular. When Sue is born, because her character is called Sue, it's icky as well. I mean, oh my god, that's another aspect that will get overlooked. probably in any kind of chat about this particular movie is the special effects. I mean, they are disgusting, but they are amazing. They look real. I mean, they look real. It looks real, and it's just so awful and horrible, and it makes it exactly what it is, which is a body horror film. But as I say, going back to Margaret Qualley for a second, you know, she embodies that kind of newly enthusiastic, young sort of look on the world that you know, that our main character would have originally been like. She meets all those unrealistic expectations that, you know, that particularly Hollywood has. But I mean, it's not just Hollywood, is it? It's the media industry in general. You know what I mean? The fashion industry, Hollywood, all of it, all the entire entertainment industry. She fits those standards perfectly in their eyes. She goes with all of that because she's young and naive, and she eats up the attention and she eats up the fame. She becomes the better version of our main character. She lets it go to her head just a little bit. And that's when it starts to take a turn for the crazy, I suppose you can say. I think it takes a turn for the crazy. As they say, wackiness ensues. But you know, let's conclude this review. Let's finish this up. Ultimately, I thought this movie was not for the faint-hearted at all, in the slightest. But as well as that, it also has an incredible message in there. It's got a message in there that's been baked in. Let me read you a quote from the director, who probably gives the best description of the message this film has than I could ever give. I'm just going to pull in here and read the description. I've turned into a street now, so I've never been here before. I don't know where I am. Okay. So I've got a description from the director, right? This is probably the most perfect description you'll get of this movie, I reckon. You're not allowed to use your phone while you're driving in this country, which is, I'm not driving, so it's fine. The director of this movie is a lady called Caroline Fargeet, or Fargeet. We've been through this already. I'm not going through this again. At a press conference, for The Substance, back in 2024 Cannes Film Festival. So basically, Caroline says the picture of Dorian Gray is one of the interpretations of the story that comes from ages. And I think what she means by that is, you know, the influence of Dorian Gray's story is what kind of drives the ideas in this film. She says it's universal and kind of tells of human condition and what we experience as human beings. And here in this film, especially as women, there's absolutely no hiding the fact this is a piece of feminist cinema. There's absolutely no getting away from that fact. It's a masterpiece because of that. She goes on to say, so I love the idea to interpret it in my own world and with what I'm going through in my life, but I think those themes will always be relevant. I can't disagree. So it's in a nutshell, what she's saying is that it's about the female experience from both being young and exploited right to being older and being disregarded. And I don't want to give any spoilers away. I think you should experience this because that's what this is. This is an experience. It's disgusting. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's frightening. It's horrific. It's just got so many different elements, and also it manages to be funny. And what I mean by that is it's got the darkest sense of humour outside of a slashery, murdery sort of stabby film. It's so horrific that it makes you laugh. But not just that, it's also the way that Demi Moore, the way that her character reacts to what is going on. If you go into the YouTube search after watching this, type in Benny Benassi and Satisfaction and watch that music video. Like this film, it's completely over the top. It's totally over the top. The message it's giving out, 20 odd years ago, is very similar to the message of this film, which is kind of like that, oh yeah, we're all gonna drool at our TV. That, that workout thing it's not there for people to work out to. Margaret Qualley's workout routine on television every day is not there for people to work out to. It's basically there for men to get themselves off to, probably. There is Sue every day. There she is. The old one's gone. We don't need her anymore. Forget that. Forget that old thing. We don't need that no more. Here's something brand spanking new. Here she is. enjoy this every day. We're going to shove this in your face when you wake up. Whoever you are, we're going to feel great when you see this. Yeah, right, okay, of course. I'm thinking pretty much about the fact that this could be the film of the year for me, and purely on the fact that its messages are what they are. But anyway, there you go. I'm gonna end this here. I was trying to think of the ultimate summing up as I was driving along, and I've come up with it basically. So let's see how we get on with this one. Masterpiece, yes. Disturbing, yes. Darkly comic, yes. What the fuck? Yes, indeed. There you go, folks. There it is. That's my summing up of this film. I think in the profession they describe this as a gushing review, because it is a gushing review. There you go, folks. Enjoy. This was The Substance.
People always ask for something new. It's inevitable. At 50, well, it stops.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. One single injection unlocks your DNA and will release another version of yourself. This is The Substance.
I'm Sue.
You're hired.
Let's go.
A perfect balance of 7 days each. The one and only thing not to forget. You are one. You can't escape from yourself.
There's been a slight misuse of the substance.
This balance is not working.
Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop?
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Cut! Bro, you're